Hello and welcome again to another edition of Tanya In Your Kitchen. Today we're going to do something very special to me. It's called Ogbono soup. It is the very first Nigerian meal that I cooked, and you can see my story on my Instagram page of how I came to cook it for the first time. I can also post it at the end of this video as well. And I just want to give a quick shout out to my friend Juliet. She brought me this back from Nigeria recently. She was just there, and so I wanted to wear this today because I'm making something Nigerian today, and it's the very first thing I ever cooked that was Nigerian, and the very first thing that I ever ate that was Nigerian was something that I had cooked. So how do we go about making Ogbono soup? It's actually, when I first did it, it seemed quite complicated, but it wasn't. Now that I've done it a few times, it's actually not that complicated to make. So you have your meat, and you see how it's nicely cut up here, and I've got a nice big bone in here because my cameraman likes the bone. You can use whatever meat you want. This is pork, so we're gonna do it with pork today, but you can do it with beef or goat or lamb, shaki or pomo. You can put all of that, you can mix it all together if you want. So what we're gonna do with this here is we're gonna put it into a pot with a little bit of water. We're gonna use some of these Maggi cubes here and cook the meat with some onion, and it'll be nicely seasoned. A little bit of water in the pot. Once that's done, then we move on to the next step in making our soup, which I will explain later. But I can just tell you what all the ingredients I have here. I have my pork. I have my Maggi cubes. I have my onion. So all that I've already mentioned. Got some seasoning salt here. I've got some stockfish. So
Bala.
these are just
It's called bala.
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 Ba. Say ba.
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 La.
La.
Bala.
Bala.
Bala. Okay, it's fine.
So it's my stockfish. This is just the little bits of it, which will make it quicker to cook. But if you want a richer, deeper flavor, I suggest getting the stockfish steaks. They're quite hard, but since my cameraman is very hungry, I have to use these because it'll be quicker. For this, normally what I would do is I would take a couple pieces of this, put it in my pressure cooker. I have an Instant Pot that works really good. Put it in my pressure cooker and cook it until it was softened, and that's a good way to get a nice rich flavor. The bits will do in a pinch, or when you're in a hurry. If you want to make this quick, then you can use the stockfish bits. And then I have locust beans. Again, it gives it another nice, really rich African flavor. I have some ground crayfish. You can get it smoked or you can get it ground, and we're going to use the ground today. And then I have my palm oil that gives it that nice rich red coloring and flavoring too. And of course I have my Ogbono seeds. You can buy my Ogbono. You can buy it ground like I have here, or you can buy it as seeds. If you buy the seeds, then you just grind it up in a grinder. But I buy this pre-ground, and it's from a really good source, so I'm not too worried about buying it pre-ground like that. And then also at the end of cooking, I'm going to put in some spinach. This is fresh spinach, but you can put in frozen spinach if you want to as well. And I'll probably add a little bit of hot pepper to it as well, just some like the seasoning, hot pepper seasoning, and yeah, we'll see what else we throw in there. So our meat is nice and seasoned. So this is what it looks like here. So it's just with seasoning salt and those Maggi cubes, just 1 cube, and it's nicely seasoned. And my cameraman just takes it and makes sure everything is coated with the seasoning. And I have this lovely pot here. It's quite big. And again, it was inspired by my friend who brought me this, Juliet. She has this humongous pot, and I never seen a pot like that before, and so when I found this and one other one, I had to get it. I just bought this at Winners, yeah. It was at Winners where I found both of them like this. They're great. They're heavy duty, and we have this lid that sits on here quite well. And yeah, and this one is nice sturdy pot. So, but that's if you're looking for a big pot like this, that's where I found this one was at Winners. So this is nicely bubbling here, nicely seasoned meat, and it's just with water, and it looks fantastic, and it smells amazing. There's the onion in there as well, and yes, it's almost done. So our meat is done cooking. We've reserved the meat to the side. I mean, we've reserved the stock to the side as well. We have a clean pot here. I just wiped it out. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the palm oil and we're gonna just melt it on here. So we're just gonna put this on low, and we will melt it. I have a little tiny, there we go. I should have got this out first, but I didn't. A little tiny spatula here. And so we're gonna take this. There's some harder, like this was a little bit melty to begin with, but we're just gonna melt it in the pan, the pot here. Just a little bit. Get all of that out. Okay. We're just gonna let that melt. And then once that melts, we are going to add our Ogbono seed. So get this nice and oh, my shirt. This is a calabash. Calabash. Sorry, it's a calabash. So it's a gourd, and they're grown not for food, but more for containers. And some of them that I just read this, they can be up to a meter long. So this is a calabash that's on here to use as a container. So, but it was a gourd to start with. All right, so this is melting nicely. Use my
Usually we use the fast stuff.
As soon as I get the first round of in here. Okay. And I have my Ogbono. Where did I put that little one? Here it is. Okay. I'm going to turn that right down. I'm going to add this in here. I'm actually going to turn this off. Put this in. Stir this until it's absorbed. And if you're researching this or you've made this, there's different ways of doing this. This is the one way I have done. My cameraman does it differently. He fries the Ogbono seed first and then adds his palm oil. But this is the way that I did it originally. That the first time I ever cooked Ogbono. So, in either way, it seems to turn out. I'm just gonna get my other full bag here. And again, no measuring, just eyeball it. Mix for more adventures in cooking. Pretty good. I'll try that, and you can always add more as you go along. So this is what it looks like. I added more Ogbono to this to absorb into the palm oil. So you want it to look like this, kind of a paste like that. And now that it's like that, we're going to add the stock from the meat. So I'm going to add this in. Okay. And then we're just going to keep stirring this and until it starts to draw. So you'll notice it'll start thickening. So our Ogbono soup is just about done. You can see that it's drawn nicely here. You can see that even just the way like it bubbles, you can tell that it's got that nice mucilaginous texture to it that makes it easy to eat with your swallow. So you can eat this with pounded yam or wheatlets or whatever type of swallow you want. And swallow is just is it Nigerian way or like an African way to say like your starchy
African.
It's African way of saying like your starchy side that you would dip in it. So a lot of times we would use like frozen spinach, but we have fresh spinach here. So I'm just gonna sprinkle some of this in, and I'll stir that in. And as soon as that kind of shrinks down, then our soup is done. So thank you so much for watching my video today. Please like, subscribe, comment on my video. I would love it if you would comment on what I should cook next. And I would love to feature you in my show, just like I featured my friend Juliet in this one today, because she bought me this lovely top back from Nigeria. So just a few more seconds here while the spinach cooks up. And I'll take some pictures of the finished product when we're done, and I'll post them on my Instagram page so you can see what this ended up looking like once this spinach cooks down for about a minute or so. Okay, thank you. Thanks for watching. Bye.